Cinnamonic here, back once again with a new episode of The Tea Drinker, and in today's episode we're going to be having a look at Teapins Speciality Vietnam Delights Tea Collection. This is a variety pack of 25 loose leaf teas, and they have subdivided each of the varieties into blocks of 5, which is how we're going to be reviewing them. So first of all, we're going to be looking at the black tea. So that's black tea with thyme, traditional black, chocolate toffee, Earl Grey tropic and cinnamon chai. Then we have the green tea, which is pandan tea, jasmine Thai Nguyen, traditional green, Balau Lotus tea, Kim Tuyen oolong. Then we have the fusion teas, which is pineapple orange, vanilla coconut, mango coconut, summer peach and passion fruit. Then we have the herbal teas, which has artichoke, tropic mulberry, ginger lemongrass, peppermint and jasmine tisane, and citrus hurricane. And the last group we have is premium teas, which has Thai Nguyen green, loose leaf pure, premium black, milk oolong, and shan snow. Okay, so let's get this open. So they come in these packets, and if you pull one of these packets out, you get these beautiful sort of snapshots of Vietnamese landscapes and countrysides. So let's have a look. So this one's the cinnamon chai. This is the chocolate toffee. This is the Earl Grey Tropic. This is the black tea with thyme. This is the traditional black. This is the traditional green. This is the Balau Lotus tea. This is the oolong. This is the jasmine Thai Nguyen. This is the pandan. This is the summer peach. This is the pineapple orange. This is the mango coconut. This is the passion fruit. This is the vanilla coconut. This is ginger lemongrass. This is tropic mulberry. This is artichoke. Looking forward to tasting this because I've not had artichoke tea before. This is citrus hurricane. This is the Pineapple and Jasmine Tisane. This is Shan Snow. This is Milk Oolong. This is Premium Black. This is Thai in Guyon Green. And last of all, let's see, we've got the Loose Leaf Pure. So, I'm going to grab the black teas and we're going to have a look at these first. Okay, we're going to kick things off with the black tea section of the Vietnam specialty teas. And we start with the traditional black. That's kind of a tawny orange brown colour. And we have the black tie with thyme, the cinnamon chai, the algae tropic, and the chocolate toffee. Not really much smell coming off of the teas at the moment, except the chocolate toffee, which has a rather sweet aroma coming off it. So hopefully the aroma will come more in the taste test. So that is our first look at the black tea section of the Vietnam specialty teas. Okay, let's kick off the taste test with the traditional black as a kind of a benchmark for these teas. Lovely, earthy, sort of standard black tea aroma. Has an earthy, almost smoky taste. Not as strong as something like a Russian Caravan or a Lapsang Souchong, but it does have a lovely smokiness to it. Next we have the black tea with thyme. Definitely getting the herbal aroma from the thyme from the straight off. Really getting the herbal taste from the thyme in this. Also getting the smokiness which was present with the traditional black tea. It's not too overwhelming. The herbalness of the thyme isn't overwhelming the taste. It's a nice blend, getting the smokiness of the tea, getting the herbalness from the thyme. It's a lovely combination. It's different. I've never had a tea like that before. So again, another good cup of tea. Now we're going on to the cinnamon chai. Oh, lovely spicy cinnamon aroma from this. The taste is a bit more subtle. It's not overwhelmingly cinnamon, and the other spices in the chai tea, like the cloves and that, not coming through, but definitely getting the cinnamon. Also getting some smokiness from the black tea. It's a very sort of mellow tea, good for sort of a wintry night. and also something you'd want to drink after dinner, maybe with a dessert. Nice. It's spicy, but it's not overwhelmingly spicy. Sometimes you get with the cinnamon blends, they tend to be too sort of cinnamon heavy. There's a nice cinnamon aftertaste in my mouth. It's not strong, it's not burning. It's a good cup of tea. Okay, we're going on to the Earl Grey variety, the Earl Grey Tropic. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of Earl Grey, and I have a lot of hope for this one. There's a lovely fruity aroma to this. Definitely getting the Earl Grey sort of bergamot taste. There's a subtle fruitiness to this, and it doesn't sort of overwhelm the Earl Grey taste, but it's got a lovely fruity aftertaste. Sometimes with an Earl Grey blend they can be a bit too one-sided, and sometimes the bergamot flavours don't come through. Let's have a lovely sort of fruity sweetness to it, but it's not masking the Earl Grey taste. Finally in this section we have the chocolate toffee. Oh, that is a lovely sweetness. Almost has a sort of coffee smell to it. Yeah, there's a lovely sweetness to it. I can almost sort of smell the burnt sugar aroma of the toffee. It has a wonderful sort of cocoa sweetness to it. It's not overwhelmingly sweet. It's kind of a subtle flavouring when it comes to the chocolate, but definitely the slightly burnt sugar aroma of the toffee is coming through. Definitely a little more of the chocolate taste is coming through on this. Again, it's something you'd want to enjoy after dinner. It has a lovely flavour to it. Highly recommended. So that was the black tea varieties of the Vietnam specialty teas. I did like the traditional black. That was a good benchmark for how this section of the varieties was going to be. I loved the chocolate toffee. It was sweet, but it wasn't overly saccharine. Had a wonderful chocolatey taste to it. And altogether, very good. If I had to pick an absolute favourite, I'd have to say the chocolate toffee. Okay, so we're moving on to the green tea segment of the Teapins Vietnamese specialty teas, and we're going to have a look at the traditional green tea. It's kind of a dusty yellow orange in colour, definitely lighter in colour than the black teas. We've got the jasmine tea in Nguyen. Not much aroma coming from this. I would have expected some kind of floral aroma to be present. Maybe that would come a little bit later in the actual taste test, but it is somewhat slightly darker in colour than the traditional green. It's a sort of deeper orangey colour, almost to the brown colour. We've got the Balau Lotus tea, sort of slightly darker in colour than the traditional green tea, but not as dark as the jasmine Thai in Nguyen. We have the oolong tea, which is surprisingly a lot lighter in colour than the previous three. It's sort of a dusty yellow colour as opposed to a dusty orange. And finally we have the pandan, which is a lot darker in colour than the other four varieties in this section. Like the black tea, not much aroma coming off these teas as yet. Probably get more of an aroma hint when I'm doing the actual taste test. Okay, let's kick things off with the traditional green. It has the meadowy, sort of slightly brothy aroma that I've come to associate with green tea. It has that, again, that sort of meadowy, sort of cut grass taste. Quite a strong aftertaste, but it's not bitter or astringent like some of the green tea varieties I've had in the past. That is a lovely green tea. Like I said, it's not bitter or astringent. It has more of a subtle taste than a lot of the green tea varieties I've had in my other videos. That's actually a very nice cup of green tea. Next we have the Jasmine Thai Nguyen. Lovely floral aroma coming from this, from the jasmine. It's not too perfumey, which is something I'd have to look for in a jasmine tea. It has a floral taste, but it's not overwhelmingly floral. And again, it has a sort of subtlety. The green tea element is not overly strong or overly bitter, but it is the jasmine taste that is the more dominant flavour with this tea. Next we have the Bilao Lotus Tea. There's a sort of sweetness coming off of this tea, a bit like the chocolate toffee. It does have a sweetness to it. It has a sweetness, but also a sort of slightly coffee-like bitterness to it. There's a slight smokiness as well to it. It has that sort of almost milkiness to it as well. I was not expecting that. It's still a good cup of tea. Yes, it does have a sort of milkiness to it, a sweetness to it. Not really had much of this variety of tea before. As a green tea, it doesn't have that sort of spring, sort of meadowy taste to it, but that is a surprising cup of tea, and it's surprisingly good. Next we have oolong. Not much of an aroma coming from this. It doesn't have the sort of meadowiness that I'm used to with like green teas. I have had oolong in the past, but there's very subtle aroma coming from this. It has a quite delicate flavour. I'm not sure what to make of that actually. It does have the sort of meadowiness, but it's very, very subtle. And it lacks the sort of bitterness that comes from the traditional green tea. So yes, it's more delicate in flavour than the other three varieties that I've tried before. So finally in this section we come to the pandan. This one of course is darker in colour than the other varieties in this segment. There's a slight coconut smell to this too. Sort of, yeah, it's very, very coconutty smell. There's a sort of coconut taste to this. It's like, sort of a coconut rice taste. It's quite sweet. I was not expecting that. That is very, very nice. Very coconut taste. I like that. Okay, as green teas go, very nice taste. Not overly bitter like some of the green tea varieties that I've had in the past. The oolong was very delicate. Loved that. The jasmine Thai Nguyen, lovely balance between the jasmine and the green tea flavours. The jasmine was sort of the more dominant aroma and the more dominant taste, which you want in a jasmine tea. But I think out of this particular variety, I was surprised by the pandan because I've never had it before. Lovely coconut aroma, lovely coconut taste, nice, sweet, well balanced cup of tea. Okay, so these are the fusion tea varieties from the Vietnam Speciality pack. These all have a black tea base. But they are actually darker in colour than the actual black tea variety that we reviewed earlier in this video. So first of all, we have the vanilla coconut. That is a sort of dark brown colour, slightly orangey in hue. And then we have the mango coconut, which is a slightly lighter colour than the vanilla coconut and sort of almost purple in this light. We have the orange and pineapple, which is a slightly darker shade of orange, not so brown in colour. The passion fruit is quite dark in colour. It's almost sort of a blackish brown, which is quite surprising. Wasn't expecting it to be that dark in colour. And finally we have the summer peach, which isn't as dark as the passion fruit, but is a lot darker than the pineapple orange and the coconut flavoured varieties. So as before, not really getting too much of an aroma coming from these as yet. Apart from the summer peach, I'm getting a subtle fruit aroma coming from that. But like always, this will probably come more prominent in the actual taste test. Okay, let's kick off the taste test with the vanilla coconut. A lovely sweet aroma coming from this. Lovely vanilla aroma. It's almost sort of fudgy, like the sort of fudge aroma you get. It's very sort of confectionery type smell. Very sort of sweet. I'm getting more of the vanilla aroma from this rather than the coconut. Again, it's very vanilla heavy. But I am getting the coconut flavour coming through. It's quite balanced. I'm not getting the bitterness from the black tea, so this is a good fusion, nice aroma, nice taste, no astringency from the black tea, no bitter aftertaste. Very nice. Next we have mango coconut. Not overly fond of mango, whether as a flavouring or as the fruit itself, but we'll give this a go. Oh, it's quite fruity. Definitely smelling the mango in this. The coconut aroma is a little more subtle. Quite sweet. Definitely getting more of the mango taste from this. It is more fruity, but the coconut taste is coming through as well. And like the vanilla coconuts, The black tea taste is not so prominent. It's a little too sweet for my taste. I don't like overly sweet tea. But still, this is a good fusion between the component flavours. Next we have the pineapple orange. Not really a citrusy blast I was kind of hoping for with this aroma. Interesting. The taste is actually quite subtle. I am getting some citrus notes and I am getting the sort of acidity from the pineapple, but it's not really that strong. I'm getting more of the black tea taste than I am getting of the fruit taste, which is unusual, but the fruit taste is there, only it's extremely subtle, which is a bit disappointing, to be honest. Okay, next we have passion fruit. This is quite dark in colour. It does have that fruitiness to it. It's not overly perfumed, but you have that passion fruit aroma to it coming straight off the bat. It's got a subtleness to the passion fruit taste. It's not overly perfumed, it's not overly sweet. Would have preferred it if it had more of a sort of passion fruit kick to it, but it's a nice blend. It's a nice mixture between the black tea flavours and the passion fruit flavours. Not overly perfumed, not overly sweet. And last of all, in the fusion tea section, we have Summer Peach. Unusual. Not really getting the sort of peach aroma from this. It's rather sort of chocolatey. But no, there is a subtle peach fruit aroma to this too. So let's give this a taste. There it is. There's the peach taste. Has a curious milkiness to it as well. It's not overly sweet like passion fruit. It's not overly sweet. It's not overly fruity. The fruitiness is a nice subtle blend with the black tea flavours. And there's a bit of more of a sweetness in the aftertaste. Okay, so that was the fusion tea variety segment. I have to say, little disappointed with the pineapple orange, but have to say overall with this section, I think I'm going to give it to the passion fruit. Okay, so now we're looking at the herbal tea varieties from the Teapins Vietnam selection. And we're going to start with artichoke. This is one that I've been looking forward to tasting, because I do like artichokes as a vegetable, but I've never had it as a tea before. It's kind of an orangey, sort of burnt umber colour, so that's going to be quite an interesting taste test, I think. And then we have ginger and lemongrass, which is kind of a pale yellow colour. Wonderful combination, ginger and lemongrass, and there's quite the aroma coming from this as well. Lovely citrus notes coming from it. And then we have tropic mulberry, which is a lovely sort of deep, rich, reddish brown colour. And we have the Citrus Hurricane, which is slightly lighter in colour than the Tropic Mulberry. Bit of sort of a citrus aroma coming from that as well, but not as strong as the ginger and the lemongrass. And finally we have peppermint and jasmine tisane. Not, as I said earlier, pineapple, that was a mistake. So yes, peppermint and jasmine tisane. Little bit of sort of the minty aroma coming from that, not really getting with the jasmine. So there we go, that is the herbal tea section of the Vietnam speciality teas. So let's kick things off with the one I want to taste the most, and that is the artichoke. There's a delicious sort of almost like rooibos aroma about this. It has a very sweet taste. Wasn't so expecting to have such a sweet taste to it. Like I said, the aroma is very reminiscent of rooibos, that sort of tobacco smoky flavour, but the actual flavour of it, it's quite sweet. I wasn't expecting to be that sweet. It's very surprising because, like I said, I'm fond of artichokes as a vegetable, but to actually have it as tea, it's a rather pleasant experience. Next we have ginger and lemongrass. Oh, lovely citrusy aromas, definitely getting the ginger as well. Lovely taste, lovely citrus taste from the lemongrass. Getting the ginger on your tongue as well, and getting, yet again, that little tickle in the back of the throat from the ginger. This is a good blend between the two aromatics, the ginger and the lemongrass, good balanced tisane. Next we have Tropic Mulberry. Oh, lovely fruity aromas coming from this. It's quite tart actually. The mulberry is quite tart. It has a sharpness to it. It's quite fruity, but the fruity is not sweet. It's more tart. It's sharp. And it's definitely coming through. Yes, tart, sharp, delicious, quite refreshing. Next we have Citrus Hurricane. Definitely getting lemon. Not sure about any other citrus at the moment. No, definitely dominated by lemon at the moment. Nice. I'm getting lemon, I'm getting lime, I'm getting kind of an orangey taste as well. It does what it says on the packet. It is a citrus hurricane. A lovely blend of citrus flavours, not too dominant on one flavour, lemon, lime, sort of getting orangey as well. That is very nice, that's very pleasant. And last of all we have peppermint and jasmine tisane. Interesting. Not really a peppermint aroma. Peppermint tends to be quite a strong aroma. But I'm sort of getting it rather subtle. Not getting the sort of floral aroma that you do associate with jasmine. Interesting taste. Interesting taste. Definitely getting the peppermint. There is a slight floral note to the taste, but the peppermint is definitely more dominant to the flavour of this particular tea. This would be very good as sort of after dinner digestive. And unlike a lot of peppermint brews I've had in the past, it's not oily. It goes down smoothly. There's not a lot of residue in the aftertaste. It's a good blend. I do like that. Okay, so that was the herbal tea section of the Vietnam specialty teas. I'm going to have to go with the ginger lemongrass for my favourite for this one. I did also like the peppermint and jasmine tisane, but on the whole, I think my favourite would have to be the ginger lemongrass. Okay, these are the last 5 teas from the Teapins Vietnam Speciality collection, and these are the premium teas. So you could say I've saved the best for last. First of all, we have the premium black, which is what I'm going to use as a benchmark for these particular teas. That is a lovely, rich, dark brown colour. We have got the Thai Nguyen green, which is a sort of dusty orange colour. And we have the milk oolong, which is a surprisingly light, sort of yellowish colour. Wasn't expecting it to be this light in colour. We've got the loose leaf pure, which is a sort of dark brown, not as dark as the premium black, but darker definitely than the Thai Nguyen green. And finally the Shan Snow, which is a lovely dusty orange colour. There's kind of an earthy aroma coming from these. Not really something I can pick up on at the moment. I suppose I'll get more of a sort of flavour profile when I actually do the taste test. Okay, last section, premium teas. Going to start off with premium black. Always start with a good benchmark. Wonderful earthy scent. It sort of smells more like a green tea. It's got that meadowy aspect to it. It's more sort of meadowy than earthy. Lovely strong taste. Quite smooth. There's no residual bitterness. That is a good tasting tea. Next we have the Thai Nguyen green. Delicious cut grass smell coming from this. Ooh, lovely strong brothy taste. Delicious refreshing green tea. Next we have the milk oolong. It's got a slight floral aroma to this. It's very subtle taste, and yes, it does taste kind of milky. So, very subtle, delicious. It's not overwhelming, and like it says, it is quite a milky taste. Next we have loose leaf pure earth. Lovely earthy herby aroma. Meadowy a bit like the green tea, but it's darker in colour. It has a very subtle flavour I wasn't expecting. Like the milk oolong, it's actually got quite a milky taste to it. That is very, very subtle. It's not overwhelmingly strong. There's no bitter aftertaste. That is a wonderful cup of tea. I know in the past maybe that I've had some problems with pure that has come across as quite strong in the past, but that's actually very subtle. And finally we have the Shan Snow. Again, quite an earthy herbal aroma, quite meadowy. Oh, it's got quite a strong taste. That's quite bitter. Was not expecting it to be that bitter. Quite a strong aftertaste, quite bitter. That's the sort of cup of tea you'd want to have first thing in the morning to get you out of bed. Okay, so that was the premium teas. I liked the premium black. Like I said, that's a good benchmark to hold to. And also the milk oolong. So if you're going to try some teas from Vietnam, you can't go wrong with Teapins Speciality Vietnam Delights Tea Collection. I'll put some details down below. Out of all of them, I think the chocolate toffee, the pandan tea, that was quite surprising as well. I like the passion fruit and the milk oolong and the ginger lemongrass. I think out of all of them, I think the chocolate toffee and the passion fruit have to be my favourite, but I did like the ginger lemongrass as well. But you know, check it out for yourself. That's Teapins Speciality Vietnam Delights Tea Collection. Okay, I've been pseudonymonic. I've now got myself a TikTok which is also pseudonymonic, so check me out on there. I'm doing some 2-sentence horror stories, also showcasing some art and doing some other things that you do on TikTok. Thank you for watching my video. I hope to see you again soon.